Alrighty, so here we are. What I'm about to show you is just some software and some programming. And let's see, we try to keep this chat up and going. Most of this is experimental on the stream side of things. I don't really know what the fuck's going on there, but nonetheless. Today, we are working on building out what I call thermal debug, which is a tool that I'm going to use for debugging things in a crazy way. So I've already gotten started, and I'm just going to start building. And the reason I'm doing this is to push my GitHub. Try to get some sponsors, and if you think that this is software that you want to actually use and enjoy using, see a use for it, then consider sponsoring me at the GitHub link that is on the screen and in the pinned comment, and it should also as well be in the description of this stream. Furthermore, if you find the stream useful or entertaining, or at least something to zone out to, then leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the magical interactions. But now we're gonna just get right to it. So, been working on this for a while, and right now we are building what I call the stream boxes. So let's see here. We've already gotten a fuse by edge function, which is a very complicated function. That's not too complicated, but let's see here. We're going to go to the code, and I'm just going to bring this up here so you can see what I'm looking at here. We're going to go to our planning, and we're going to take, it's not in our planning, it's in our requirements. Okay, so this is the interface that we're going to try to build using a custom terminal UI. So right now we already have the main box built, right? And we are building the stream box, the algorithm stream box. This all makes sense as I go along. But so we'll just get started. And before I do, once again, consider sponsoring me on GitHub at Alex Pistozo. So let's begin. So right now I am here in my custom private repository. All these changes will be pushed to the main repository once they are clean enough. I've just created this new system of management, but let me just make sure I have a working thing. I have a sample TED file. It's encoded. All right. I'm going to use thermal debug and sample TED. This is just testing of my keystrokes. And we got this. We have our main box, and if we consult it and compare it with this, let's see, maybe back up a little bit. It looks as though it's a fairly good match. You can even see through the terminal. So let's get started. I've already begun by creating this class called the Thermal Algorithm Stream Box class. This right here. I've already linked it into my program, and I just need to put it into my main driver function. So I have this thermal debug class, and this class is used to build everything. Alright. Algo stream box. This is going to have to be a pointer, because I'm going to have multiple of these things. Alright. Now I'm going to have to take these bad boys, and yeah, we use Vim around these parts because I think we're a little slow, I guess. So we're going to go into initializer here. Make sure that these things are all good and initialized, so we don't have any weird, excuse me, null pointers getting dereferenced or referenced. Make sure all our sizes are initialized properly. And then, of course, since we're going to be allocating some arrays, we're going to want to ensure that this blows up at the end. Now, this is not thread safe yet, but there only should be one instance of this for the time being. Algo stream boxes is not equal to null. Then we're going to delete this algo stream boxes. And that should be that. Maybe set this to null just to be safe. I don't know. Maybe a redundancy, but that doesn't go there. It goes here. Okay. So now we initialize, now we deconstruct. So now we need to actually figure out how many algorithms we have, which we already have a system for this. We have this load algorithms function. So let's see. If I want to load, so I'm running, let's go back to our main function here. This is how programming is done, guys. Thermal debug run, load algorithms. So we are just loading algorithms here. It's in our thermal debug class, namespace, place. Alright, yeah. Alright. So we are reading our files, we're doing all this magic, and we have the algo cache. Okay. Algo cache. So let's see what this data type looked like. Thermal debug algorithm cache. Okay, it's a data struct. It's got algorithms and algorithms count. So that's what we're going to use. What am I stuck on here? I got caps lock on. Let's see. So we know that this algo cache variable can go right into our run function. So we have this load background, okay? And then I'm going to need a load streams function. This doesn't exist yet, but we're going to make it exist. We're going to put it right here. Is that what I called it? Yes. We don't need any inputs because we're going to be automatically validating all this stuff. Let's see. Load streams. So we know this algo cache has algorithm counts. Alright. We're going to say algo stream boxes size equals this algo cache algorithm count. Okay, make sure this returns true. And then we're going to say this algo stream boxes is equal to 0. Return false. There was no streams to process. And we will just do this. Because we should always check this. If this is not equal to null, it should be because we put it in the initializer. This needs to be deleted. just set it to null for good luck, because you never know with these compilers, sometimes some funky shit happens. So we have that, so we are going to ensure that we don't do some funky overwriting of pointers. We are getting the number of algorithms that we have loaded in via our special debug file, also a thermal emissions dump is what I call it. So we have our algorithm stream boxes, count, and we have this, so the next step is to do what? It is to actually allocate the space for this algorithm stream box. And this is how I'm doing this. I'm doing this algo stream boxes equals new. Where's this at? Whatever this new class I created is. And I'm going to say the data size that I found and confirmed exists. And because I don't want to use try-catch statements at this time, I'm going to do this. Standard no throw. So now I can say if this algo stream boxes is equal to null, turn false, and to do implement error handling. I have not yet implemented error handling in this, but I have a system. Okay. So we have this. We have confirmed that we have successfully allocated the memory for these algorithm streams. Now, I already should have this background box loaded, but we will do some more error handling when it comes time for that. So this is when we start to have to draw some little flow charts, some logic charts, but I do unconventional flow charts. I don't use standard software. I more just scribble. Keep pressing fucking caps. There we go. Okay. So I have all of these data types, which it's an array of stream boxes, extends thermal box, which is this specialized class that I've created that automatically creates boxes on the terminal. And right now, what we're about to see is you're about to watch me use this library that I'm creating. Alright, I'm going to create this box right here. Empty box, right? It's going to have a top border, corner, go down, and go around. Right? And then I'm going to make a second box, this smaller box. After which I'm going to map the word stream1, well, it's going to be the name of the stream that I've loaded, the algorithm. And then I'm going to fuse the edges of these two boxes so that they are centered. Okay? And you'll notice here, like, this is not like a standard, this is like a special T-shape border. The fuse edge function should, if I designed it properly, automatically detect exactly which shape border to put and allow you to make cells. It's basically like you can represent spreadsheets in a terminal if you know what you're doing. And hopefully all this audio is coming through fine. I've tested the recording a few times, so hopefully it is. And yep, I'm a real person. If anybody, I don't know how many people are watching or if anybody, but nonetheless, the chat session is open, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the chat. So, the fun part. How do we do this? How do we build these boxes? So, first things first. We're working right here in this load streams. We have this right now. Let me make sure we don't have any bugs. Make sure we're not broken. All right. We are loading streams, and we can do this for now. Exit 1, just to make sure that this specialized terminal program is working how we expect it. And as you see, it exited. Excellent. So this is running. Okay, so I have to go here and start. So we know that we want to now, we have this many stream boxes. I now have to define how I want these stream boxes to be created and initialized, because they have not yet been described in that manner. We just have an empty class. It runs the thermal box initialization process, and that's about it. And all that does is nothing. All that does is nothing. So we don't even have to worry about it. Okay. Okay, so I just created an array of these class objects. So how am I going to set this up, initialize it? Well, naturally I'm going to use the constructor of this class object, right? So by merely doing this new whatever, I'm executing this function here. So this is all real-time figuring out. This is how you write software. Like, this is why I call this the Ducky Files, because this is how I do it. I just talk to myself endlessly. So we have, let me click here. I have this. So I'm changing over to my drawing pad here. Make sure that it's actually visible. Just moving my windows over. Okay, I'm here. You need to be there. You need to be there. That actually did not do what I wanted it to do at all. You go here, I go here, and then I go to draw pad. Okay. Draw pad. So I have this one empty class. Alright. I have a class object. And this class object needs to do some things. This class object needs to tap into the thermal box, right? Tap into the thermal box namespace. And it needs to also create two unique, that's a G, boxes, right? We need the, let me see, we need the screen container box. Call this cont. And we need the title box. Right. Let me drag this over so I can monitor chat if something comes up. Okay. So this class object needs to be able to make this container object, make this title object, and then it needs to map this bottom edge of the title to the top edge of the container. So in order for this to happen, I need to have a dedicated thermal box object. Well, I need to have two buffers. I need to have two buffers. One of these buffers is the parent, like the function of the AlgoStream class. Like this object extends the thermal box class, right? So that thermal box has a buffer in it. That buffer will be the container, right? The bytes that represent the container, the box that we're creating, that is going to be inside the extended buffer, right? So the next buffer is going to be a dedicated variable, and we will call this the temporary container, right? So what's going to happen is I'm going to basically say I need a box of X width, so I can just say change the color because I can. I need a box of W width by H height, and I need that one to represent this box, and I need a second box to also have a width and a height, right? So this is just some parameters that go into a function that I've already written that will create this box and that box. So step 1, gen both boxes. Okay. So we're going to generate both of the boxes. We are then going to map algo name to temp box, right? And then we are going to fuse edges, and then we're going to finish it off by mapping to display buffer. Which should already be done. So this software little thing that has to be created is going to have, it's going to be a 4-step-ish process, four or 5-step process in total. Okay. And we are just going to do something simple by starting with generating the boxes. So that should be enough of the drawing pad there. That's our plan of action. That's how you do flowcharts, by the way. None of this, oh, I'm going to use this special software. No, you just scribble. Absolutely scribble. Pardon as I drink my coffee. Now, let me bring you guys back over to here, back to scene. Okay, bring these windows back over here. Still getting the system's kinks worked out. Okay. And if you hear any music in the background, that's custom-made music by me. Just half-assed, like 5 seconds. It's just going on loop. Hopefully it's not too loud. Okay. So we're generating these things. So now that we know that we need to first define some widths and heights, I do know that I have already an equation that I want to implement regarding the width and height. And I have this here in my issues on the GitHub, which is all public. Alright. So I have an equation right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to implement an equation where we take a center offset and use that to position our stream box title. Excuse me. We're going to use the width of box A over 2 minus the width of box B over 2. We're going to subtract those two values, and the absolute value of that is going to be how far we need to offset our fusion box, the box we're fusing on. That's how far we need to offset from the edge. So we have the equation, we know we have to do that, and in order to do that we will need to go through one by one and actually tell these boxes what the size is. So we're gonna say display width, display height. I'm gonna initialize it to 0. Equals 0. Equals 0. Okay. So now, what are we going to do next? We're going to figure out where I have display size stored. I believe it is in my thermal debug display class. So we're going to open that up. It's not that one. This right here. Thermal debug display. There's a private fetch width and height. Get width, get height. Okay. So we're going to say load streams. Take that. So we need a for loop. I is less than this algo stream boxes size I plus plus. So this display dot get width and then this display dot get height. This display code was pretty complicated to make. I had to figure out how to use like nobody does terminals. I had to I didn't want to use end curses because that shit's cursed. So I just I built my own. So it's not too complicated, but if you want to do it, you have to learn how actual terminals, Linux virtual terminals work, and how ANSI escape codes come into play. So we get the width and the height of this thing, which I've already initialized earlier. And what am I doing with this width and this height? That's a good question. I am going to say, hey, I'm going to have a set width. Set width. YouTube is not receiving enough video. As such, views will be experiencing buffering. I guess we're having a little connectivity problems going on here. Well, I don't know how well that's going to be. I guess it's skip ahead to live. Well, I don't know. We're going to see what's going. It probably doesn't like me streaming the ISP, but they're going to have to get used to it. So, just make sure everything's still. Open widget. Stream status poor. Oh, it seems fine to me. So, we're gonna keep going. I am setting width, setting area of this here box. Yeah. And we are going to do int width, int height, and we are going to say this display width equals width, this display height equals height. Super simple. We're going to jump back here, and we're going to say this algo stream boxes I dot set area Alright, that should be a failsafe function. And then once we set the area, we are going to algo stream boxes dot build box. Okay. So this box area is going to be relative, because this is a very special type of box. This isn't just some box that you're just going to throw into some other application. This is specific to the thermal debug interface. All right, this will only exist here, so it's always going to be the width of the screen plus some percentage, and that gets defined in this process here. And you may be asking yourself, how does this build box function work? Well, I don't know yet. We're going to define it. We define it right here. Bool build box. So far, no inputs. That should be up here. Alright. So now I gotta remember how I actually built these boxes, and I can use my background box to remind me. So I have to define a series of things. So every box has a border, and these borders have corner pieces, horizontal pieces, and vertical pieces. Okay? So all of that stuff is stored in a data type called a thermal box type. And this is held private, so we have to use a function to fetch it. So we're here, and we're going back to AlgoStream, and we actually need to have this function, not this function, this variable. Okay, this is my reference to private data within the thermal box. And now I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to copy this little line of code and put it here. So we now get data, jumping around, and I'm probably just going to copy this as well. Alrighty, so this is using just the standard box line corners light, horizontals light, and we're using an empty space for that. I'm setting the width to that. Okay, so our set area function, I'm going to write a note here. So this set area function takes in the display width and well, I guess I'll still write it like this. It's good to have good named variables. It makes it so much easier to read the code. It's very important to have coffee. Let's see here. So we set the area. What did I just build? I don't know. That coffee kind of threw me off. We have that, we have this, we have that. We set the area. We have this display type. This comment is redundant now. And now we have to use screen dimensions to calculate box sizes. And we also need to have this guy, thermal box, builder box. That's what I'll call that. Call that a builder box. It's a box that I'm going to use to build boxes. It's a builder box. So we are here in the build box, but we're not quite ready to build a box because we still need to define the width and the height of this thing. So we know that the pointer, hold on, make sure. This data should not be null. I gotta make sure that's the case. So this is a failable function. We say if this data is equal to null, return false. Unallocated. So we know data is good, which means that the display this data width equals what? I want this box to have the same width as the display width. Okay. So I think I'm just going to pass the display width and then maybe just like an arbitrary height for now. So this is going to be an unused variable for the time being. I have a whole system where I go through and then actually clean up all this leftover code. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way. So my width is that. So, mind you, width in this instance is the width of a single cell in this terminal. Right? So, height. What is a good height? It needs to be a variable. I guess I'll set like a minimum height. And you can, like I want it to make it so you can like change the size of this box and like scale it down to make it disappear if you so desired. So I guess for the time being, I'm thinking if that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. I'm thinking maybe 7 lines for height. Completely arbitrary. Let's see. Configurable. Make configurable. One day. But that's not what it's about right now. It's just about making it work. Step 1. Make it work. And then you can make it work nice. So I have this data, I set the width, I set the height, okay? I know that this box is already defined to have these things happen here. Like it's already defined to have those things. So I set that. Let me see how I did this in the background box, in my generate data. This generate box data. Okay. And I think I used the width and height. No, there's a box function that says set area, I'm pretty sure. And I just overwrote it. I just made a duplicate. Set box area. Okay. Yeah, we need to run the set box area, and that'll convert my width and height to a single dimensional array, directly proportional to a box, a square. So we're going to go here, go to our set area, and then instead of doing this, we're going to say this set box area. Oop. And that'll set those 2 variables for me and allocate the memory. And if we recall from here, we are creating this box, right? We are creating that box, the purple box, the one that is part of the parent, right? So by running now the, I believe, generate box data function. Let's see here. Generate box data. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's all this guy did here. This guy being me. This block of code. Generate box data returns false on failure. I don't even think these printfs get seen because of how I set up my environment. Build box. Generate box data. Okay. So now I go here to my thermal debug. I can get rid of my display window. Get rid of that guy. So I am in the load streams. I'm going through each. I set the areas of the display which allocates the space of this box, and then I build the box. Okay? So that's the first box built. Now I need to build the second box. Yes, it was that easy. And I'm thinking this second box gets allocated here. This second box is where we build that equation of the offset, center offset. Okay, so I don't know the width and the height yet of box 2, but we are going to initialize this. Okay, so we're going to say it's going to be a funky function here. I say this data equals this to get data. Should get that and allow me to check this. This data is equal to null, or this data dot data size is less than or equal to 0. Very important to do this. You don't want to deal with empty data. So I check that, and then what do? I generate that box area, and then I get my special little guy here, my builder box, and I say this data equals this builder box dot get data. And then I could do this again. So I want to do this up here. And we're going to initialize this in the same exact way. Some of these initializations should probably be happening automatically, but that's a problem for tomorrow. Okay. No, I could be real nifty here actually and do this. That's a lot of code, right? That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So what we do is we go like this. We like our code to be easy to read, easy to view, easy to comprehend. Move that over there. Do break. Run case 2. Get that data. Alright, here's what we do. Go like that. like a game, you know? Just fucking... Just go. Just go and do it. So that'll go like that. We want this to be in here. And now we've just did that with initialization with a lot less code. Alright. So now both are initialized the same way. We are now back to doing this box here. Get this builder box. And we want to now define the area. Hello, Mr. Cat. Set box area. Now, what do we want this box area to be? Happy cat. The width, I don't know, what, so if I say, maybe my algorithm name is 15 letters long, 15, 16, 17, then I want a 17 width. And if I'm only putting it on 1 to 2 lines, I don't have text wrapping implemented yet, but if I want to, I'm going to say I want it mapped in the center, so my height is 1, 2 for the borders, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and I don't know, I guess I could show you how, for people that are a little less retarded than me, show you how I just got that. How I just got that there value. Let me just drag in my GIMP. I should have just did it like, I forgot I could just do shit like this. Make sure that shit's all caught up. Make sure it's all fit proper. Okay. That looks good to me. Let me clear this screen. See, the problem is I have all these tools that I keep losing because they're over in this other window, and GIMP doesn't let me drag them. New. Okay. Windows. Tools. Windows. Toolbox. Okay. Get that shit out of here. So, what did I do? What did I do? I had 17.5. So the reason I did 17 and 5, alright? Why 17 with 5 height? Alright, why? Well, my width, I want it to be... What? Why the fuck did I say 7 width? What am I talking about? Oh, that's right. This is the, So all I know is I have an box. A box. So, God, I'm really bad at drawing fucking straight lines, huh? Let me see. Shh, there we go. Right. I have a box. And we want to put our own box, a secondary box. Change the color. Yeah. We want it to be somewhere in the middle. We don't know how... Like, we want it to be somewhere in the middle. We don't quite know how long this thing is actually going to be, I guess. Because we're too lazy. So, I arbitrarily said I'm going to take a width of 17, right? I arbitrarily said my width is 17. And the reason I said 17 is because I wanted 7, 6, 5. I wanted 15 individual empty points. I wanted 15 of them. And my box function makes it so that if I want this top row to be 15 in length or 15 in width, I need to account for the fact that there is a char that represents the edge. There's a char that represents the edge on each row. So if I want a row of 15, like a box that has 15 rows, then I need to define a width of 17 using what I've created here. And now, why did I choose the number 5? Because the same principle. For height, I chose number 5 because at either end of these 5 heights, right? So it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are only 3 empty rows inside this box when I define a width of height. A height of 5 and a width of 17, right? There's only going to be 3 in-box rows. So that's what we're going to be, that's what we're defining with that, right? Excuse me. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. In case you wanted to know how that was done. Get rid of that. So that's why we built that box at that area. So now that we have that area as well, we also want to map a string to it. So I'm going to need a function that lets me map a string, which I do have. It's in here somewhere. Map string. So it's in the thermal box. Okay, and I'm here. I've just set the area of my builder box. And I'm going to say bool map algorithm name. Use a standard string. And a X and Y position. Yes, sirree. Okay. I should probably keep this consistent. Put X and Y first. Okay. Oh, turn true. So, to map algorithm name, real simple. I'm specifically mapping this to the builder box. And I think this is a boolean. Yes, so I can just do this is real easy. X, Y, name. Looks like I might have froze my camera. Nope, I just couldn't see the camera light. Okay. We are getting places. We're getting places. Make sure everything's, get this out of here. Okay, so we're mapping the algorithm name. And how are we going to map this? Build box, set area. So what we're going to do is algo stream boxes. I think I just called it map algorithm name. Right. So For the time being, I guess I'll just put it as 0, 0. Well, because we want to put it as 0, 1, 0, 2. Because 0, it's 5. The first one is a border, so it starts on 1, and I want to be in the center of the 3, so I got a 2. I got a position 2. And I'm just going to have this at a bare minimum of 1 for now. And then later, once I have it all ready to look nice, then, like when I have the code actually functioning and doing the debugging, then I can make it look all aligned and proper. But now the question is, where do I get my algorithm name? Good question. Stream boxes, algorithm count. So we are looking at our algo cache. And we are looking at our algorithms. And we are on the ith algorithm. And inside of algorithms, that is the TED type. So let me find this here, TED type, which I think is in the thermal emissions dump class. TED type is right here. Yep, so it's just called algorithm name. So this is a complex object that in the future I'll describe in more detail. Put algorithm name and do something nifty where we do a const char pointer typecast, which will turn it into a string. So that should map. So we have just allocated space for those boxes. We set the area relative to our display, which then created a box. Well, it began created. It got a box ready to be created. It allocated the space for the box. And then we map an algorithm name, which maps a string to the second box that was created by this set area. And then we run the build box function, which also, so we'll say if this fails, return false. Now that we've mapped our thing, almost mapped our thing. Right, map string, is that the name of the function? Map string, yep. So we map our algorithm name, we've generated our main box. Now we have to generate our builder box. Generate box data. So we have that there. We built the box. So now what do we got to do? Built the box. Now we actually have to fuse. It's still in this algorithm here, this function here. Just built box. Now it's time to fuse the boxes. This is the untested function. This is what I've yet to test. Let me see. Make sure we don't have any bugs. 54 in algo. Control reaches end of non-void function, line 58. Gotta return true. Always have good error handling. Let's see. So that should fix that error that we just got. And hopefully don't get any oh, we got a fucking memory issue. Wonderful. Wonderful. You know what that means, right? It means it's somewhere in this allocation here. It might be in my magical reduction of code. Let's see. This is how you do this too. Worst case scenario. You break out old GDB. Okay. One of those lines is causing it. It could be something going out of scope and getting deconstructed when it shouldn't. Getting deconstructed twice. Double free, I believe is what they call that. Hard vulnerability to see if you're not keen to what it actually is. Right, and now we're going to allocate. Okay, mister. Let's see why this doesn't want me to allocate. This algo stream boxes. Thermal debug stream boxes. It's because of this, I think. Let's see. I think it was that. Pointer retardation. I would like for this to work. Should work. It's just something I'm being too retarded to see. I don't know. Okay, I guess it just don't work. It don't work like that. Maybe it's because it's in a fucking constructor and I'm declaring variables. That's probably what it is. What did I just delete? Hold on. Where's my functions? There they are. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it's been an hour and 11 minutes. 1:11 was an inside job. Never forget. Yoink. Delete. Try again. Motherfucker. You just had to do it, didn't you? Probably had something to do with this, huh? No, it didn't. Return. Make fucking slur, dude. You fucking slur. 51. 51. On Algo Streambox. Egg. Oh, you who turned off numlock? 51. Yeah, I have this really shitty fucking keyboard. That just like, it has like, you know, you got your caps lock, you got your numlock, but it's got no lights to tell you if it's on or off. It's just anyone's guess. It's also really loud and obnoxious keyboard. Sticky. Not just because I spilled so much coffee on it. Maybe it is, I don't know. Where was I? Fix the segment fault. So we can probably get rid of that. Get rid of that. Make. Run. Nothing blew up. Which means, yeah, you don't see any changes, but we clearly wrote a lot of code, right? So, for all of my algo streams, which I only have one in this sample, the sample file only has one algorithm stream, as you can see by this one count here. That is algorithmically gathered. We build the box, and part of building the box, because this is not a generic box, this is a very specific implementation. We just go over here, go to our generate box or build box, and now I haven't used this function yet, freshly built. I do this. I really hope this works. I was up for days and days just figure out the best way to get this stupid fuse by edge function built. Okay, so we're gonna go. What did I just click? Let go of that. If not, fuse by edge. I didn't spell that shit with a Z, did I? No, okay. If not, fuse by edge. Return false. And one day. An error 2. Then we want to pass in our builder box, because we want to fuse our builder box to our base box, and we want to fuse it 0GG. We want to fuse this box from the top edge. Right, we want to fuse to the top edge of the box. So we're going to put in thermal box edge top. And we want an offset. And if you recall from my retardery, we have the offset already calculated. It is width A over 2, that over 2. So let me calculate width A. What you doing, Mr. Cat? It's taking a nap. The cat. What a good little boy. Happy cat, happy cat, happy cat. Happy cat. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. So, WA equals box A. So this dot, I've got to do this one-handed here. So it's display width. Ow. Okay, display width divided by 2. And then we have int width B is this. So my width is 17. And it's hard coded. Divided by 2. It's okay if it's oblong. And then I do int center offset equals ow WA minus WB. Oh Lord. And if, good Lord, mister. Center offset. Ow. Center offset is less than 0. Center offset times equals -1. And this is how you do absolute value without a weird function. Easy peasy. Excuse me. So now I have my center offset, and I just put it right here. So that, like, you're just gonna have to take my word for it because I don't fucking know if that actually works or not. But it should. It absolutely should work. Cause take my word for it. We're gonna find out. So I think if that didn't fail, display W. Display width? No, display W. Yeah, display W, not display width. Make. Okay, so now that's the fun part. I now have to map the generated algorithms to be where they need to be. And I think we're gonna start closing up this stream here soon. So let's see. We have load algorithms. And we want to not do that. We want to go to where we are putting our map box. Okay. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to now run this display map box. And we are going to use the algo stream boxes. So right now there's only one, and you could probably, if you're keen and you've built some stuff like this before, you probably see exactly where this is going. This stream boxes I 0, I don't know, 10. x0, y10. I equals 0. I is less than. Algorithms count. And that right there. I plus plus. And we'll just do that. And we put one down here for when we resize. So yeah, we're gonna have to make a nice thing here eventually. Okay, so this is either gonna work really well or not at all. We're gonna see what happens. Did you look at that? Worked not at all. Okay. That's gonna be fun to figure out, I guess. Fucker. Why you no work? It's gonna be fun to debug. Though this is the main course kind of here. Let's see if we're just exiting. Let's see if we even hit this. We're hitting it. We're running it. Is it running successfully? We're not running it successfully. We are not running it successfully. We are running in the fail case. Okay. Why are we failing? W print F L failed to map algo stream percent I percent D I. Yeah, there's like, I need to like do like a flush here. I can't remember why this ain't printing. Yeah, I just can't figure out why that shit don't work. There's... Like, it prints, but I can't quite figure out why. I can't make it print, but it prints. Unless it's just not running there, I don't know. Yeah. Does this even return true? I don't know. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. Gotta set the cursor pause. Shit just might always return false, I don't know. You fucking... What are you fucking bitching about? Expected primary expression. The fuck you mean primary expression? What? What about now, motherfucker? 177. Wrong thing. The fuck? Oh. Butthole. Okay. This fucking shit. This fucking shit. If not, I'm probably gonna start screaming my head off soon. Because this fucking... That's not failing. So this is indeed a failure then. Something is indeed failing here. Alright. If I don't see a thing that says push any letter to continue, then I know I have just a failure. Yeah. So I gotta figure out why Mapbox is failing, which is going to require diverting the flow of work here a bit. So I think that's where we're going to stop for the evening. Maybe. We'll see. This is going to drive me insane. I'm just going to, let's see, display Mapbox. Where's my display function? Tab new. And we're looking for the Mapbox. Excuse me. Thinking. I need to start building my fucking error handling system is what I need to do. Because it's gonna be because for whatever reason my printout's not working. I should be able to fucking... Like I should see the word fuck you get printed. But I don't. Ah, oh, so fucking annoying. But why does my fucking other fucking fuck, you know what I mean? Why does this show up, but the other shit don't? Why does it not show up when I have a failure condition? It must mean that there's... I don't know. I want to say that maybe there's like a fucking memory issue. Just, let me say my display draw. Draw. It just prints normally. God, these systems. Sometimes I swear it's just like the NSA's trolling me. It's because the cursor position. That's right. Okay. So if I want to print... Okay. I'm lost. I am looking in my display code, and I need... to say fuck you. This. Sir, cursor pause. And I'll say 5. Now I should see fuck you. No fuck you? What is this? Okay, this is fucking gay and retarded. I'll tell you that much for certain. So, we're just gonna do this like like we're fucking madmen. The old school madman way. Where's my stupid fucking thing? Where's it at? Get rid of that. Oh, or do we want that? That's what we want to get the fuck rid of. Alright, we should exit. We should not exit. Okay. It must be a memory. I think memory's getting corrupted. I think that's what it is. I must have a null buffer. That's what I'm thinking. Display. Nope. That's not what did it. Haters will say this is a waste of time and I should just use GDB. And I say you're all gay. That's what I say. Okay. Wrong button. Yeah. Okay. So the problem is B data, box data. Thermal box source box data. Okay. Which is this. Algo streams. We mapped that. So it's not here. Here. Thermal background box. Build box. So, let's see. Set area, builder box, box set area. Did this fail? Exit 420. No? We know that's getting run. It's frustrating. Okay. That didn't even get hit. That's probably why. That didn't get hit either. Data must be null. I'm so smart. It was a memory issue. Or was it? What the fuck? What error code was fucking 117? What error code is that? Because that's not the one I set. Unless it only goes so high. The fuck is this? Okay. I guess it doesn't go that high. It doesn't. It must be an unsigned in. Okay. So why is data size null? Right? Why am I even checking this? I'm probably checking to see if data size. It's because the size is 0. It's like, oh really? The unallocated size that you have come here to allocate, that's 0? Really? Where the fuck did they find this guy? Okay. We got somewhere. We printed something. It doesn't seem like what we wanted to print, but we printed something. Okay. Now we gotta figure out what the fuck is going on here. Turn false. Turn false. Okay. Where did I create that? Display clear screen, map box. Map box. This is where I'm mapping the box. Okay. Make sure I didn't break anything. Okay. It is the map box that is wrong. Which means it's probably my box that's wrong. So I think before I fuse edge, I should probably try to, you know, put my main box there. But I have a feeling there's a bug in my fuse edge function. Nothing. Probably because I haven't uncut commented it. Make debug sample. Okay. Okay. I see what I'm working with here. That needs to be moved down, without a doubt. So 0, 5. We should see the top of the box appear from the underneath box. Yes. Yes, indeed. And I should probably do a fusion here as well. Maybe. Or just shrink it. Shrink it by 2. And move it in by 2. No, we want to shrink it by 2. Move it in by 1. Shrink it by 3, move it in by 1. Yeah. And then I'm going to reduce the size by 2. Build box with this divided by that. -2. But I do think I actually do want -3. We'll see. Not enough. What's my center offset? It's the wrong thing. I want up here. Display with -2. There we go. That's the start. That's a real good start. So we're going to, I guess, start them at 8. Because I can. So now I gotta figure out what's up with my fusion, edge fusion. But this is a really good start. Really good start. Container box built. To put a git ignore here. It's doing that thing again. Eval. SSH agent S. SSH add. Don't question why it's called black market. Don't question me. Bitch, the fuck you mean no route to host? Are you off? Okay. Okay, you motherfucker. This is what my everyday life is like. What the fuck you mean? Okay. Okay. Fucking. Yeah, we gotta do some authentication. 1 second. Bear with me. What is that, 11? $5,200. Is that what it was? Oh. What is the flag for baud rate? Socket time term lines, blah blah blah. Options. It's making me read. How cruel. How cruel. Ignore, choose. God damn it, why didn't you tell me? Why is this, like, why am I having the fucking meanest fucking brain fart? Oh my god. Just fucking Google it, you fucking assholes. Yeah. Oh, of course you just write the fucking thing. It would help if you had a fucking flag. Wrong one. Maybe it is the right one. I guess my shit's just fucking broken. There's always fucking something, I swear to God. There's always fucking something. This shit don't want to fucking allow me to fucking break out. Oh my god. Close terminal. Jesus fucking. I'm not typing that shit. Because then you fucking creeps are gonna see my password or hear me type it, and that's already too much. There it is. That's where we're stopping. I'm going to push these changes. And gonna figure out what's going wrong with my shit. So let's start by doing this. Okay, it's just really pissing me off. I gotta fucking screen. Actually, I don't think I needed to do that. Yeah. Don't abuse that command, sir. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Screen. Come on. Dev TTY USB 0. Okay. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. This shouldn't be happening. I got the right baud rate set. It's just being stupid. Maybe it reset. I don't know. What am I getting? What did I just do, huh? room full, kill, help. What? I fucking hate this. Screen command is an excellent example of a horribly designed program. Like, if you make a fucking program that works like the screen command does, you're a piece of shit in my eyes. Where the fuck? Why is this like? It's like it only wants to work if I have fucking like HDMI plugged in. It's fucking annoying. Stupid Pi server that I got. Try this one more fucking time and then I give up on that. What the fuck is this? And it crashes. Okay. Well, I hope you all have a horrible fucking day, because that just annoyed me. And I hope you also enjoyed listening to this, even if, like, I don't even know if the microphone was working, but I was really quiet. But it is what it is. Goodbye. Just gonna go fucking scream. And fucking, well, first. Bureaucracy. Always do bureaucracy before leaving. There's something wrong with the fusion. Though we do have the container up and running. Nonetheless, we need to figure out. What do we need to figure out? I don't know. Need to figure out why the fuck I have so many goddamn key problems. But that's unrelated. So, let's instead just figure out why the secondary box inside the algo stream box class is failing to be mapped properly. That should give us a strong point to stop and continue later. Oh really? How redundant. What a useless fucking thing. I'm just rambling at this point. Comment. I gotta plug this shit in, see why the fuck this stupid Raspberry Pi wants to be fucking retarded. Let's see why. I don't even know what'll happen if I fucking switch HDMI sources with this, but we'll see. Server's up. But I don't think I'm connected to the internet. Let's see. Plug in this bad boy. Second mouse. Advanced options. Turn off wireless LAN. Where are all my connections? What is... don't understand why. I think it's the NSA. It's the NSA. It has to be. These computer systems should not be causing me problems like this. They just are, though. Fucking pissing me off. Like, why is the network manager not working, huh? Oh, it just fucking crashes now. Just fucking crashes. It's fucking stupid. I need a new Raspberry Pi. This thing's retardedly old. Okay. I know I said I was ending this already, but it's already getting into the second hour. I need to get the bureaucracy done. If you don't get the bureaucracy done, then you forget what you're doing. Of course, this stupid... It's my fault, I guess, for using a fucking old shitty Pi to do this. I just don't know why it's not detecting networks. Now it is. Like network manager crashed or something. Okay. I think it's done being a little piece of shit. I just turned off my TV. I gotta wait. Probably just blew up everything. Probably leaking all my sensitive information now. Okay. I don't know what that did. I probably just broke something, but... Take this so I need a second keyboard. You done being a little fucking asshole? Huh? There we go. Now I'm less angry. So, this was just my private repository. Check out the README. Spent a lot of time getting inner workings of all this stuff up and running. That hasn't been tested yet, so the current plan is to create class functions, test the code, do all this shit. Okay. Issue, we need algorithm streambox containers built out. We got this base container here. And this over here. And... oh. That's exactly how it should be. Because I didn't have any. Now I have one. So, there's some things that need to be addressed here. Where it is? It's over here. Okay. Task list. Make horizontal positioning for cases where there's how do I word this? Account for vertical overflow /y overflow of the algorithm stream boxes. So I need to be able to determine that, you know, this is cell 1 and it's in position X or position Y of width. Scroll position to the algo stream box class. If you do code like this and you break it down in task lists like this, you'll be much more productive. You'll get a lot of work done. So we know we want to account for the vertical overflow, the Y overflow. We know we want to modify the algorithm stream box class to account for scroll position. Okay. And then we need a pagination system. Slash actual pagination system slash smooth scrolling first UI. Demand. So in order to create the pagination, we need to implement mouse wheel scroll. Scroll. Mouse wheel scroll pagination control. Arrow key. Scroll. Arrow key. Scroll. Pagination control. Okay. This is good. I don't think there's much else I have to do to make this. So I'll be able to scroll, and I'll be able to scroll everything. Ensure that scroll happens. What the fuck was I just imagining? Ensure the scroll happens. Yes. Fuck. Account for the vertical Y overflow. Add scroll positioning to the algorithm stream box class. Pagination smooth scrolling. So we need to implement mouse wheel scroll for pagination control. Arrow key scroll for pagination control. And we need to ensure that the scroll encapsulates all the structured algorithm. Data structures. And then I do want to be able to shrink algo box. We want to be able to select algo box. And I think we also want to be able to center algo box. And search algo box by name. Alright, these are all the things that hold on. These are all the things that I've determined via magical wand wave need to be made. So, that's what's going to happen. And I'm definitely going to do this. Put these changes here. Where? Here. So these are going to be on the issue for anybody that wants to track this outside of the internet, YouTube's time. So we're going to say, these are all the damned things that need to be done. At a bare minimum. Before moving on to implement operation displays. Okay. See, the mountain just gets bigger and bigger every time. Hello, Mr. Cat. So these are all the damn things that need to be done. Account for this, account for that, account for that, account for this. Okay. Nice and misspelt. Pagination. A logo. Account for the overflow, scroll position, pagination. Ooh. And we also want to be able to sort, reorganize algorithm boxes, sort algorithm boxes. Because if you're using this tool to develop algorithms, you're going to want to be able to cycle through and organize and keep, like if you have multiple algorithms working together, you're going to want to be able to sort them in any amount of arbitrary ways. So we're going to put that, keep that up with my thing here. So basically, I'm gonna, since this is still like work in progress shit, my plan is, because obviously this is a Git repository that's on a private server, private internal server, but this project is, and like, here, I'll even do this for people that come through later, if there is anybody. That's the link to the thermal debug project, the open, like on the GitHubs, the repository. And I'm going to be basically only pushing like the good changes to these main things. I'm going to start closing out these branches and such. But this is the branch that's currently being used for this issue, right? And I got locked out because I changed out some RSA keys, so I panicked and moved my code to a private server. I don't regret it, because I now know how to make private Git repos. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else I need to do here. I push these. Priority string boxes. Okay. So it's going to be a memory problem, a simple close that out. Start closing these out. So I'm going to be working where? I don't need this here. Figure out the cause of that. Still don't quite know why I can't print anything out, but I know what I gotta do. But it is to do with setting cursor position. Okay. Try not to get sucked back in. I can easily just get distracted and go another like 2 hours. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to see what's wrong. And what's wrong? Okay, this is where I'm gonna be working. I'm generating the box. I need to figure out what? I need to figure out builder box. Oh, I guess I could just do. No, I can't just do. Okay. Builder box fused by edge. This is where the problem resides, indeed. Because I can position that. This gets positioned perfectly on both ends. Have to update the resize. See, I'm already getting dragged back in. Ooh. Alright, I didn't like that. Oh, it's because I did this. Okay, there's something wrong with my resize, clearly. Oh wait, I know. No, I don't. I don't know. It's just slightly too long, I guess. I'll figure that out later, I guess. I'm saying I guess a lot. I must be guessing. Okay, display flag, resize false, resize ready, flush, STD out. And I just need to get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, and get out of here, and close that. Close that. Okay. Development continues here. This is what I do in order to stop. I need to make sure I know exactly where I'm going to resume. Develop continues here. And what are we continuing? Main goals. Fix resize bug. Figure out why fuse by edge is failing. Okay. These are the two main things. Figure out why that fuse by edge is failing, and fix this resize bug. Ooh. Pardon that command. Yeah, this resize bug needs to be corrected, and the fact that this is happening needs to be addressed. It looks like my cursor position's getting fucked up on the remap or something, but because this is definitely the left edge of my main window. But that's gonna be tomorrow, I guess. Let's see. So we are in this file. Go back to my issue. Okay. Let's edit this. File of interest. Line. $93. Okay. I hope everybody's finding this interesting, all 0 concurrent viewers of you. But don't worry, I know there be feds out there. They just don't tell me that you're viewing. They don't count you towards the viewers. But you are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. So, this is gonna be tomorrow stuff. Count for vertical Y overflow. All of this stuff. We're gonna fix those things in the comment. We're gonna fix these two things. And I'm going to record the entire journey. Some of these things might get put to the back burner, and I might go through all these issues and gather what's not been done and create a miscellaneous tasks. Just put those up. Little bounties, I guess. So, I don't think there's anything else I have to do here. I know I'm coming back to this spot exactly. Throw a background box. That's some other thing. I don't need this here. Okay. That's what we're gonna fix tomorrow. So if you're interested in algorithms and figuring out algorithms, especially custom ones that aren't really discussed, then tomorrow I'll be going over a lot of this stuff again, but with less sleep deprivation. As you can see from my magical clock there. Yeah, Yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna go over figuring out why this fucking fuse by edge function is not working, and also give you the opportunity to have me explain to you how that's all working and the magic behind it. And hopefully tomorrow we will have this little box created. Uh, this little box that I have in the documentation. Alright, so tomorrow we should have this box created, at least without this stuff in the center, right? We should have this empty box and this label. That's the goal for tomorrow, and possibly to be able to scroll and position these things, which will be the creation of a very fancy terminal UI library, which once it's done, it's going to be open source and anybody can use it. And if that sounds like something that you will find useful, then again, I suggest that you consider becoming a sponsor and sponsoring me. I don't really know what to put in this description yet. All I have building right now, the biggest thing is this thermal debug, okay? Thermal debug is the number one thing I'm building right now. And the reason I'm building it is because I was working on some compression algorithms, right? I built out LZ compression, right? I've built out a version of this, and it's been working pretty well, I think. I have to there's some things I could do to make this better. And then after I created that, I started working on Huffman coding, right? And that has been a pain in the ass. Like, it's just about there. It's been a month since I touched this code. But the reason I started building thermal debug is because I'm building Huffman coding. And the algorithm has just gotten so fucking annoying that I just needed a better tool for actually visualizing the algorithm itself. Not the code execution, but the math execution. Alright, so because of that, I started building thermal debug, right? And the only reason I'm building this Huffman coding is because I'm also building my own little website system, right? So this is a private repo right now. Like, this has not been made public, but I have this website system that I'm building, and it integrates WebGL, right? Like, we can go here to my website, Bestoza Tech. Still under construction. I have some other websites that are local that I can't share that look a lot better than this. There's other people's websites that look better than mine. But in order to make really good 3D graphics on this, I need to be able to make shaders, right? And have 3D objects stored, and 3D objects are made up of a lot of vertex data. So I just have a big vertex data, and I want to say depict a bunch of fancy 3D shapes for some effect. I need to be able to do compression directly in the browser. So I started building Huffman coding because I like to build stuff and have it myself. Actually understand what I built. So that's where we are. There's the whole path. If you help me build thermal debug by staying entertained by it, or at least finding it useful yourself, all of this leads to a grand system that is internet connected, graphically inclined, and comfortable for a programmer to use. Right? A lot of stuff coming. A lot of stuff coming. That's just that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm building this thermal debug thing. Just call it thermal debug because it's I want to make the equivalent of a thermal imaging camera debugging your code, you know. So that's where it's going. I'm also gonna have UIs for days, and until tomorrow, I guess. I don't know how to end this, so I guess I'll just you were here, right? This is probably the most like in-depth stream that I've done. My voice is probably still very quiet. I have to. It's mostly because of the microphone. I'm not talking very loud either. But yep, I'm Alex. This is me programming. This is how I program, and I'm going to probably make a lot more of these, just so that I have something to do while I do what I do. I don't get paid for what I do. I don't get paid for anything, as you can see, 0%. Well, I'm not sharing the screen, but I'm unpaid. I like to code. And if you enjoyed this, subscribe, like, get the bell hit, and this should be how I roll from now on. So, until then, I'll leave you with this here intermission. Imagine it says the stream will end shortly. Right, I guess I could just change it. So, yep. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.